Today we're flying from Australia to New Zealand in a single-engine helicopter.
So much fucking wind.
There's now a 50-50 chance we'll have to dive it to make an emergency landing.
The situation right now looks bad.
Here at Sydney Airport, just doing the final checks of the machine. We are shortly about to launch for 4 hours to Lord Howe on our way to New Zealand.
Most helicopters don't have the range to get us directly from Sydney to New Zealand, so we'll have to divert. But each of these trips are cutting it close.
And we've had to remove the back seats. Each of the back seats are 15 kilos, so by removing 4 of the back seats, we've saved 60 kilos. That means we can fly further, faster, and use less fuel, which is really important for the crossing.
In the previous episode, we spoke to Beck.
All right, how you going, Becca?
We're going to have to put to the test in the intense landscapes of New Zealand to see if she's up next -2.
Bye-bye. We do have 10 knots of headwind.
20%, blades spinning, oil pressure's rising.
So we're going to burn 10% more fuel today.
A bit of warm-up.
See you in New Zealand.
The view of Sydney looks amazing at this time, but these moments never last long.
So the wind has increased to 20 knots on the nose. I am climbing higher to try and beat the wind.
Remember, helicopters aren't planes. They can only remain airborne for roughly 4 to 6 hours. Plus, aerodynamics are easily affected by the wind. You have to be really strategic.
The wind's dropped off. We've got 12 knots of crosswind from the right, but nothing on the nose. We're just over 8,000 feet. The fuel flow is nice and low. In fact, we're going to arrive in Lord Howe with heaps of excess fuel, which is good. I was holding that fuel as a reserve in case the weather was bad and that 10 knots headwind maintained, but I'm pretty comfortable.
Without breaking a sweat, our first checkpoint was in the bag. If only the whole trip could be this easy.
Best leg done. 2 more to go. Touchdown.
So we threw some fuel in and we're about to submit a flight plan and launch to Norfolk, which is about 4.5 hours away. Turn and burn straight to Norfolk now and generate a whole day spare. And if I need to use that day to wait for better weather, I will, because we don't want to go to Auckland with really bad winds. And at the moment there is 10, 15 knots of headwind down to Auckland. So I just want a day up my sleeve, and this is going to give us that day.
And crossing this Bravo Tank Charlie. I think we're going to take a small excursion to check out that rock to 10 miles south of the field.
Keeping up the momentum, we're keen to quickly get to Norfolk Island without a hassle. But there is one big concern.
The situation right now looks bad. As we fly further east, we basically fly away from the sun, so we lose hours in the day. And we basically have travelled 9 hours to the east today. So in about 35 minutes, the sun's going to set. We're going to prepare the cockpit to go dark. It's going to be pretty black. And so if you walk around the city, you can basically see the cityscape because so much nightlight. But here, there's no lights on the ocean and a single light on the island. And so if you don't have a really good understanding of where the horizon is, that single point source of light can cause your brain to just go upside down.
So we're just going to check into the hotel and we'll get ready to go tomorrow to Auckland. Okay, I'm ready to go. Are you ready to go?
Mate, I'm ready.
Just
6 more hours to go and we'll finally be at Auckland.
We've optimised, we plan for success. I'm just going to give it a go.
We beat a day yesterday to stay ahead of the worst possible outcome, but unfortunately the winds would be against us today.
So we have 20 knots on headwind. So we're just going to climb as high as possible to get a very fuel efficient regime for the engine.
6 hours of high headwind could result in losing too much fuel before we make it. We'll have to decide whether we risk the trip before we cross the point of no return.
Point of no return is the point at which you cannot get home and you must continue to your destination. So we have an opportunity, we have like 10 minutes where we go, should we continue or not? Because if we cross that point of no return, we only have one option, is to keep going to Auckland. Right now, with this current 50 knot headwind and the machine, I can land at Auckland with 20 minutes of fuel. Right now. So much fucking wind.
The wind is rough, but at this point I'm confident we'll make it to landfall.
Right, so in roughly 20 miles we'll be overland. We're actually in a descent right now. So at 9.5, but we don't need to be so high, so we'll come down and fly a little bit lower so we can check out this beautiful country in New Zealand.
This ended up being a grave mistake. We digged down to have a better look at the landscape, but it didn't take us long to find out how heavy the winds were at this altitude, hitting an unexpected wall of wind. We had to head back up.
It was only like less than 10 knots headwind at 1,000 feet, but I was thinking that below like 5,000 feet the wind would drop off quite significantly and we would be alright low level, but unfortunately the wind increased and we were sitting at 24 knots of headwind low level, and as a result I had to make the decision to come all the way back up again. So traded all my height for energy and then traded all the energy back for height again. So let's level off and see what that maneuver cost us. There's always a cost.
Unfortunately, that cost a lot. There is now a 50-50 chance we'll have to dive it to make an emergency landing. Our handler's now trying to find us a dive-it option closer to the top of New Zealand, where we will hit land. If the dive-it option doesn't have fuel or customs, we might not make it to sea back. But after some discussion with the handlers, we decided to just go for it.
Let's do this clear for 1,500 and below. Let's do it. Let's go in. 2 minutes to run. That's that yellow bar there. So that yellow is the reserve. We're just above the reserve there.
Where are we clear to land?
Big thanks, Johnny. Can you land this frequency? Big thanks, Johnny. Thanks. Can't believe we did it. Dude, what a wild trip. Have a good day. Touchdown. Touchdown.
It is freezing. I did not prepare the right clothes for this. Well, we made it to Auckland. We had 3 litres spare of fuel from our reserve. Like, I mean, these machines can do it. You just gotta have the right things and do the right things in the right order.